What's going on, guys? Welcome to Valuetainment Sports. And if you guys are adjusting your screen right now, you can stop because you're absolutely right. Our boy Danny Cannell is not here with us today, so I'll be in the pilot's chair. Danny is on a well-deserved fellas trip, so hope you're having a wonderful time, brother. We'll try to hold down the fort for you today. But have no fear. We have brought in some very, very capable reinforcements. He's usually about a room or two away. He's always making sure everything looks great behind the scenes. But he's here with us today, and he's going to do a fantastic job. He's a Division I athlete himself. He is an Akron Zip. He is LeBron's biggest fan, and he's one of our own. Say hello to Malik Hudson, everybody. What's up, Malik?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
It's weird, man. I'm normally on the other side of this, so being on this side of it is pretty cool. It's been a while, so I'm glad to be back, though.
I thought this would be a good one for you to kind of just reacclimate yourself. It's not like we're talking about like unusual stuff or we got to like prep too hard about conspiracies. I thought sports is kind of your thing, so we'll bring you back in, drop you in. You've done a great job for us before, so here we are.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So let's touch on where Danny's at right now. We said he's at a fellas trip. I have a group myself who once a year they get all together and they pick a different like college football stadium, and that's their trip for the year. Apparently, this is a thing that like dudes do. Are you one of those guys? Like, do you jump on a trip with your guys and just go away for a couple of days? Are you able to do that?
Yeah. So my dad and my granddad, we pick an away game to go see the Browns. So unfortunately, it's the Browns. So whatever happens.
Easy to get a ticket though.
Yeah. Last year we went to Vegas. We saw Shador's first start. He balled out, so that was great to see.
And I was here with you. I didn't even know you did that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Oh, I got to get me on one. And you do it with your pop and your grandpa. So how do you beat that?
Yeah, it's amazing.
How long y'all been doing that for?
They've been doing it for a couple years. I just joined them recently about 2 years ago. My first time going was when the Browns played the Saints 2 years ago. And that was a pretty good game. They lost, but that was my first time being in New Orleans, being up and down French Quarter, so I loved it.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so we're talking about trips, guys. We're going to start off on last week's games for a trip to the conference championship on both sides. And let's start with the Broncos and the Bills, guys. So many storylines coming from here, Malik. It was a wild one, man. This was supposed to be the year that the Bills got over the hump. This was the year that Mahomes was out of the way, Joe Burrow was out of the way, Lamar Jackson was out of the way, and we were going to see the Bills take that step. And it all came crumbling down fast, guys. And right now in Buffalo, things are getting even crazier because since the end of the game, we've seen the firing of Sean McDermott. And today, I don't know if you heard, did you hear Terry Pagula, the owner? Because Brandon Beane, the general manager, has been getting a ton of flack. Terry Pagula, during a press conference, kind of jumped over him just to kind of like cover him a little bit at the expense of Keon Coleman. Were you able to hear that?
Oh, yeah, I checked it out. This pretty rough for Keon Coleman. I think he had a pretty rough season this year. So yeah, him dealing with all of that and hearing that from top down has to affect him or something.
Yeah, 100%. You're invested in this guy. You would think that after a tough season, you would hope that your guys would take up for you and kind of give you that sense of confidence that maybe you didn't get from your game this year. But if we have the audio, can we run that? This is Brandon Beane talking about the season, and then the owner on the other side is Terry Pagula, and he's going to chime in with his thoughts on the whole thing. Let's run that thing real quick.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff who felt strongly about the player. And you know, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it, but I'm here to tell you the true story.
All right, so we can cut that there. So what he's basically saying for anybody at home that doesn't know is he's basically saying his player that was drafted by the general manager sitting next to him was not the general manager's choice. He was, in fact, the fired coaching staff's choice. So how do you think that makes Keon Coleman feel, man, coming into next year with the same GM, and he's got to be in that building still?
Oh, man, that has to be rough. Like, now you feel unwanted. Like, you're dealing with all this pressure from being bumped out of the playoffs, how everybody may feel maybe too early, and now you got to deal with this situation. And he's had a rough season this year. Like, if you see his stats here, he's hasn't barely cracked the top 100 in a lot of these stats, and they expected him to do a lot more for this team and contribute a lot more and eventually be Josh Allen's number one guy. But some things happened. He didn't quite fulfill that role. And hopefully he either uses his fuel to keep going and prove everybody wrong and show him that he belongs on this team.
Yeah, I think he's a great case of like confidence in athletes, because when he came in, his first couple of games, he got out of the gates real hot, and he seemed like he was feeding off that. You've seen him before a couple of times. He's a big, like, he's almost like a character. Like, he's a character guy. So he's one of those guys that could really feel that if he's being instilled love and confidence in. He had a funny clip go viral during the combine of him talking about being Tiger Woods, but Tiger, I wish I could. He said, "I'm not Tiger Woods, I wish I could."
Yeah.
So it seemed like the staff really liked him and they were behind him. But yeah, this has gotten ugly quick in Buffalo, and we'll follow up on that as it happens. But guys, let's get to the game now, right? We got to address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is this. So the Josh Allen delivers a strike in overtime to Brandon Cooks. All right, this is the biggest play in sports right now. I saw it 100 times, and every time I see it, and in the beginning, I thought something different. So let's see. It's 30-30. We're in overtime, and Allen hits Brandon Cooks here. All right? So from the outside, it looks like Brandon Cooks goes up for it and appears to make the catch. But Jaquan McMillan comes away with the football, and it's ruled an interception. So, Malik, what is going on here, man? It looks to me like, and I've slowed this down. We can stop it here. Oh, no, let's watch this. Let's watch this. So right here I see a controlled catch on the ground down by contact. All right, so under normal circumstances, this to me looks like a catch. As a wide receiver, this looks like a catch. We saw in the game the next day a similar situation with Devontae Adams. Are we familiar with that? Do we have the video for that or not?
Yeah, I have that.
All right, we can play that one really quick because, guys, in this next game, this was deemed a catch. So I think the difficulty, and it's been a difficult thing in the league for probably a decade now. I think about the Dez Bryant catch a long time ago, and people don't know what constitutes a catch. And time again, it's just causing problems for everybody. This one is a stain on, I think, what was a real big game. So this happened the next day. This is Devontae Adams. He comes down with the ball, and the ball is now in the defensive back's hands for the Bears. And this is called a catch and down. So obviously it wasn't as deep as the last one, but it's the same type of play. He's coming down to the ground with control, knee is down, and there's down by contact. So I think it poses a huge problem for the league when the different groups of officials are calling games differently. It's very hard for players and coaches to adjust to that, right? Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a catch. It looks like a catch. According to the rules, he caught the ball, had possession, made it to the ground. His back touched the ground. He should have been down. That was it. But I don't know. Maybe there's some guys in a city on the West Coast, kind of close to the West Coast, who had a say on what happened.
That's an unusual suspects topic.
Yeah.
We'll keep that for unusuals. But yeah, so guys, I've watched the play a million times as a receiver. I think I watched it 100 times. I thought pick first. I thought catch. I thought pick. I thought catch. And every day, new views of this has been coming out. And as the most recent views come out, the more I think it was a catch. And I think the league got it wrong. And guys, it was a huge thing because as default, now we saw that snowball effect. Now, Bills lose that game. Coach gets fired. Now, Josh Allen's legacy has taken a major hit here, right? Because Josh Allen, he's an MVP caliber quarterback. He's been an MVP, and he's been one step away from the big game where his peers, Mahomes, right, and Burrow, they've been to that Super Bowl. Mahomes has won a couple. Burrow has been there, and Josh Allen is trying to crack that, he's trying to get on that level with these guys, and they've already got hardware or Super Bowl appearances, and he doesn't have that yet. So it's really starting to impact his legacy. And it doesn't do any better where he we talked about this a lot. Danny and I have spoken about sort of the old Josh Allen versus the new Josh Allen. The old Josh Allen would try to do too much. He'd try to do everything by himself, and often he would make that big mistake that would kind of kill the team. And we saw that. I think the biggest play of this whole game was that fumble going into the half where he was trying to scramble into like field goal range, and he was stripped only for the other team to turn around and make a field goal out of that. And they got 3 points that at the end now, when you go into overtime, those 3 points are the difference between a win and a loss. And then you saw late in the game during a drive at the end, he missed a wide open Dalton Knox where if he would have hit him with it, he goes in for the score. So Josh Allen, who's been a top, he's a top flight quarterback. There's no question about it. One of the 2 or 3 best in the league, probably on a Hall of Fame trajectory if he can get that one win. But he takes the loss. Does this impact Josh Allen's legacy, or is this starting to get to the point now where you're like, for you to be mentioned amongst these great players, you've got to get over this hump? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think it affects his legacy. I mean, it doesn't take away what he's contributed to the game and how far he's changed the Bills, because the Bills were the bottom of their division at one point. Now they've been consistently the leaders of that AFC East. So I don't think it doesn't necessarily take away from his game and what he's done, he's done everything in his power to get his team there. Like, you see it. Like, there's times you hear the guys on ESPN, they're like, oh, Josh Allen, he has to be Superman today. He has to do this. And I think that's also in his identity. And, like, for his team to rely on him for that, it shows a lot. But I'm going to go against myself at the same time as saying he does have to still prove himself amongst those. Like, you have those playoff guys that just get there and that's it. But it's been too many times we've gotten too close. They've even changed rules to the game for this guy. Remember the whole overtime debacle with the Chiefs, how they added another possession? That was all to see Josh Allen finally get his chance to make it to the Super Bowl. And since then, he still hasn't done it. And it's rough that we have to see and wait for another season for that to happen. But I think he's going to have to take a lot of soul searching to really see what it takes for him to get past the next step, because he's done everything. So, like, what else do you want him to do? What else can he do?
Okay, so let me ask you this now. So the big rumor going around is that with Sean McDermott gone, one of the leading candidates is his old offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll, who's the former head coach for the Giants. Now, if you remember where Brian Daboll sort of cut his teeth and made a name for himself, it was with where? Do you remember? It was with Buffalo and Josh Allen as his offensive coordinator. So he's now the leading candidate to come back here and maybe kind of finish what he started. Josh Allen, that's where he sort of saw that turn, right? He was a kind of average for his first year or two. He's coming out of Wyoming. We didn't really know what we had in him. Was he outmatched? You know, you see him play on a smaller level in college and you think, that's a big step up, right, to the league. Is he one of those guys who's going to be able to make that step? And it was with Brian Daboll that change started to happen. So it'll be real interesting to see him if he's able to come back, you know? So now we go to the rest of the game, all right? So we saw the most tragic thing happen, right? So Denver gets the win as they're sort of setting themselves up for that go-ahead field goal in overtime. All-world quarterback Bo Nix is, what he's trying to do here is, for anybody at home who's not familiar, he's trying to take a couple of steps back and kneel the ball in a place that is more conducive for success for the kicker. I don't know if it's maybe to straighten it out, if maybe there's a bad piece of grass there they're trying to avoid, but he's trying to kneel the ball in a particular spot to try to set up an easier kick for the kicker to win the game. And what happens is Bo Nix takes a knee and he stands up hobbling. And we find out later that Bo Nix has fractured his ankle and his season is effectively over. So Bo Nix, the guy who's led the Broncos to the #1 seed, is now done for the year, and in for an AFC championship and hopefully Super Bowl run comes Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham has 4 career starts. He is 1-3 in those starts, and he is now being relied upon to carry that load from Bo Nix for a #1 seed to try to finish the job he started and take a #1 seed to an AFC title and ultimately a Super Bowl. I don't feel great about it. Malik, your thoughts?
I'm kind of nervous for myself, but one fact that people don't know, he's a Brady disciple. He spent a year behind Tom Brady.
Okay.
So hopefully that season behind Tom Brady is enough for him to absorb some type of greatness.
Okay.
And he'll get it out of him. You see, there's other former Brady backups who haven't done too bad for themselves.
That's a fair point.
Jimmy Garoppolo got himself a contract. He started for a couple years. You remember what happened with Matt Castle?
I played with Matt Castle. He was my quarterback in Kansas City. Did
Brian
a really nice
Hoyer,
job.
he had some decent years. So,
He did.
like, I think maybe that Patriot way is still in his blood.
Okay.
There's something in there that might help him in that environment with the playoffs. And the Broncos is still a pretty sound team, too.
Okay, so Malik thinks there's an opportunity for Jarrett Stidham to go in there and make a name for myself. But Malik, I need you to hear me out because I, sir, have the solution. And it is either going to be the hottest take you hear on the playoffs all year, or it's going to be the most brilliant take you hear on the playoffs all year. So bear with me. So about 6 weeks ago, we saw a team in position for the playoffs lose their quarterback. They tapped in a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to come out of retirement. And let's be real, he looked okay, right? He had a couple of games where he looked great, a couple of quarters where he looked great, a couple of games where he looked all right. He didn't really look bad or overmatched, though, right? So he comes out of retirement, and he looked fine. Now, this was made possible because Phillip Rivers was in decent shape, and Phillip Rivers was still very familiar with the offense, all right? So my question for you is, do the Denver Broncos right now tap in a 47-year-old who knows Sean Payton's offense better than Sean Payton knows his offense? He's still reasonably fit, and I need him to get me 2 games. Do the Broncos tap in Drew Brees? It's laughable, huh? Okay, Malik is laughing at Drew Brees.
That's kind of wild. That's a wild take.
It's a wild take.
I mean,
It's a wild take for sure.
Nah, I don't know. He's been out the game too long.
Okay.
Like Phillip Rivers, he's been out the game, 2 years?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, Drew Brees has been out longer than that.
Probably like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay.
Okay. So here's my theory behind this, right? So what I need from Drew Brees, and this is the pros and cons, this is how I weigh it, okay? I need 8 quarters from you, Drew Brees. I need 8 quarters. You need to come in and find a way to steal me 1 game. Then you get 2 weeks if you were to win it, right, to get ready for the Super Bowl because we got a 2-week break. So he can get himself reacclimated with the offense. He can get his body in better shape. And then he comes out and tries to win a Super Bowl. It would be a story of legends. And now I ask you this. Do you not trust, because I do you not trust Drew Brees to come out and get you 1 game over Jarrett Stidham? Because that's really the equation right now. If I told you right now you had to put your life on it, Drew Brees goes and gets me 2 games after being off for 5 years or so, or Jarrett Stidham goes and gets me 2 games, you feel better about Jarrett Stidham than Drew Brees right now?
Yes, because he's had a whole season and off season to prepare. He's had time to learn the offense. He had his reps. I'm sure he's in season shape at this point. He's
in backup quarterback. I haven't played all year shape.
Yeah, but that's still better shape than the guy who's been on the couch for all these years.
Okay.
And the whole Phillip Rivers thing, that went the way it was expected to go. Especially if you look at his stats, he didn't throw for anything crazy. He didn't do anything crazy. I think he won off of the fact that the Colts were still a solid team at the time.
Sure.
But I don't see – I would trust Drew Stidham more than I would trust Drew Brees right there at this point.
I know my time in I was in Kansas City for 5 minutes, right? I was in – let's think about my college offense, which I played in for 4 years. I remember it verbatim right now. I can get on the field, and if my coach called something, I remember it, right? And I would venture a guess that I don't know my college offense 50% of what Drew Brees knew about that New Orleans Saints offense that theoretically Sean Payton is running right now with the Broncos and Bo Nix. And I don't know, man. I think you come in there, abbreviated playbook, right? You said that the reason that the Colts were able to do it because they were still a pretty good team, right? Well, the Colts were outside of the playoffs looking in when Phillip Rivers came in, or they were like teetering on that 7 seed. This is a number 1 seed team we're talking about. This is a loaded defense. This is a good run game. So I need him to come in here and just survive. Make it through 1 week. Get me a win this 1 week. Guys, obviously a hot topic. We think people are going to feel one way or the other, but we'd love to get you guys' thoughts in the comments, thoughts in the chats. Chime with us. Malik thinks Jarrett Stidham. I think tap in Drew Brees. What kind of story would that be? Drew Brees comes off the couch and wins 2 games, and he's a Super Bowl champion again. And he gets 5 more years of health insurance, we found out last time.
Yeah, but that's kind of rough. Like, you got to think about the intensity of it, too. Like, the Patriots, the Mike Vrabel was going to have that team fired.
Totally.
There's no way he's going to allow some 47-year-old guy to come in and beat them.
And see, if I'm Drew Brees, though, I'm thinking about how I combat that. So they're going to pin their ears back and come at me. Cool. I'm going to throw a quick game. I'm going to go throw screens, and I'm going to establish the run. And that's what they do well in Denver. Do I think it's like a sure shot? But it's a matter of 2 extremes right now. Does a 1-3 all-time quarterback who started 4 games in his career over 7 years give me a better shot than first ballot Hall of Fame Drew Brees? And I particularly say I think I can get 8 good quarters from Drew Brees before I get 8 good quarters from Jarrett Stidham. But I think it's Wednesday now. I don't think we're going to see that even be an option, but I thought it would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely funny to think about.
All right, so let's move now quickly to who they're facing, right? So the Patriots take down the Texans, and we're not going to spend too much time on this game because it was a messy, ugly, sloppy game. Behind 3 Drake May touchdowns and C.J. Stroud imploding for 4 interceptions, right? So I don't think we learned a ton about the Patriots in that game, but going forward, the pick has to be the Patriots, right?
Oh, yeah.
Against a banged-up Broncos team?
Yeah, just because they have the edge of not losing their quarterback. The Broncos don't have a quarterback, and that Patriots team, like, they're determined. Mike Vrabel, I would give him all his props. Like, this guy turned that team around the minute he stepped in those doors, and it's great to see. Like, he was hungry. He had his chance. He left Tennessee. You know how that happened, how he left for Tennessee. He spent the year on the Browns staff as helping out with them as an assistant somewhat, and you could tell he just wanted to be back out there. He was in there. I don't know if he was under payroll or anything, but now that he has like the controls and he's in command of his team, I think he's ready to do something big.
Every week I watch them, I think, how on earth did they let him go? How did Tennessee let him go, right? With a rookie quarterback, let him figure it out. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So, okay, and what I was wondering during that game is, remember a couple years ago, we saw C.J. Stroud come on so strong, and I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be the next one. Right, he came out playoffs every year for the first 3, and he just seems like he hasn't made that jump. And now he kind of seems to me like he's regressed. What do you think the future is for C.J. Stroud? Do you think it's something he figures out, or have we seen C.J. Stroud's kind of ceiling where he is?
I don't think we've seen his ceiling yet. I think he just needs to figure it out in the offseason because he still had a pretty good regular season. He only threw 8 picks in the regular season, and then he gets to the playoffs and throws 5 in 2 games, which is absurd. And if you think about it, but I think this takes time. A lot of people expect quarterbacks to come in and just be the guy automatically. Right. Like this is a position of maturity and experience, and you have to get those game reps. You have to make those mistakes in order for you to develop and grow.
And that's something we used to see a lot more. And I think the way that the salary cap is structured now leaves teams in a bad spot for that, right? We've seen it happen with, the biggest one I think of is the Legion of Boom forced to break up because Russell got his huge contract. So what you have to do now is you almost have to get that young quarterback in and hope he thrives early so that you guys could start winning some games before he gets paid, And that's what it seems like's happening there. And now but it sucks because you waste that incredible defense. Right, those pass rushers, Danielle Hunter on one side, Will Anderson Jr. on the other side, and the rest of that D-line have looked so nasty. They have a championship defense. It seems like right now he's kind of been the thing that holds them back from making that step because now they've been to 6 of these playoff games. He's 0-3, right? And the Texans all time are 0-6 now. They need to find a way to get over that hump, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot. Like, first off, he lost Tank Dell. I think maybe he would have come through for him.
Play without Nico Collins this week, too.
Yeah, and Nico Collins this week as well. And everybody called on the Christian Kirk because he balled out against the Steelers. So now they take him out of the way, and now C.J. Stroud doesn't know what to do. You can see it. He had his tail between his legs. He was nervous, very careless with the ball. That shows to me that the lights are just a little too bright for him.
Okay, and you'd think though in his 3rd year that you got to start figuring that out. So you're good to give him one more year. Let's keep it. Let's keep it as it is. Let's run it back one time and see what we do with C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So what I said before is we didn't learn a ton about the Patriots. A team I think we learned a ton about was Seattle. Dude, it took me a long time to get on this Seattle bandwagon. I've thought it was sort of like a fluky 1 seed all year, and Seattle came in and blew the doors off of San Francisco to a tune of 41-6. They look like they're for real, man. It started from the opening kick. Rashid Shaheed takes it back for a touchdown. The run game looked awesome. We had that kick. Awesome. Let's do this, guys. Now, and football is such a momentum sport, right? When you come out of the gates like this, let's watch that. This is a beauty.
It's Rashid Shaheed with the steam. Shaheed breaks through.
I feel like this is when you know what type of game it'll be when this type of thing happens.
It is so demoralizing when you're down a touchdown before your team's gotten their defense on the field yet. It is tough, man. You're digging yourself out of a hole from start to finish, and they were never able to just get that offense running. Looked like the injury to George Kittle ended up proving pretty big, but they were awesome, man. The run game was awesome. Kenneth Walker, the third, 3 touchdowns, and the defense looked awesome, right?
Yeah.
So you think they're for real? You think Seattle is for real now?
Yeah, I think so. Like, especially a team like the 49ers, they're always in it. They have probably the most experience out of any other team that's in this playoffs. Mm-hmm. And for them to come out there and send that message to everybody else that we took down the 49ers like this, that's a big thing. And I think my biggest concern is Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Because you see what happened to him last year with the Vikings. They lost only 2 games, I'm sure, right? And then now they end up blowing it in the playoffs. And then this year he's back. And he had a great season. He's done some amazing things. Mm-hmm. That deep ball is beautiful to Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I think this is now it's Sam Darnold's chance to prove himself, to show that, hey, I belong here.
I think that's an awesome point. I was actually going there myself, and I was saying he's the 5th quarterback all time to win 13 regular season games in back-to-back years. If you know who the 4 are, like other than him, it's like Mount Rushmore. It's like Rodgers, Brady, Manning, absolute killers. And he was able to do it. And I was of the same belief. Like, I saw him do it in Minnesota last year, and then I saw him crap the bed in the last game of the regular season, and then I saw him really just tuck his tail in the playoffs. So I said, I have to see him do it in the playoffs and win a game before I believe. Bro, I'm a believer. I thought we were going to see a superstar drafted out of USC when the Jets took him number 3 overall in the draft. But it's the Jets, bro. That you can almost erase that from his resume at this point. He seems like I think he's like a top 5 or 7 quarterback in the league now, and I believe in him. No? You don't feel the same? Still up in the air, it looks like.
Yeah, still up in the air. I don't want to crown him that yet, but that 2018 quarterback draft class was pretty loaded. You got Baker Mayfield. You had Sam Darnold was part of that. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. So maybe it's something about that draft class where he'll pull some magic out.
And who's still standing right now? It's Sam I am, right? Okay. Yeah. So Seattle faces the Rams after they win a back and forth game over the Bears. We have some of that, right? And guys, it was a case of Caleb Williams giveth and Caleb Williams taketh away, right? Caleb Williams made one of the greatest throws I've ever seen off his back foot with under 30 seconds to go to Cole Kmet for a game-tying touchdown to send it to overtime. Do we have that? Or we don't
I have that.
Can we play that? This was one of the most incredible throws I've ever seen. And Caleb Williams did things like this in college all the time, and you almost felt like, could he possibly be able to do this in the NFL? And through his first through his first season, we didn't see the same player. And man, did Ben Johnson unlock something in this guy? Huh? Ben Johnson has done wonders for him. So this is with 27 seconds left in regulation, and watch this throw. It's a throw that, if he won this game, would have gone down in history. Back foot, just lofts it up, and Cole Kmet.
No way. That's an amazing throw.
Unbelievable throw. Unbelievable throw.
Yeah, maybe it's the matcha and nail polish.
It might be. Yeah. It might be that. But I'll tell you what, though, we talked about it earlier. You make throws like that, you can wear nail polish, and nobody's going to say a thing, right? They're totally fine with him. And however he wants to carry himself, you make throws like that. But as great as he looked on that throw, we saw him make what ended up being a detrimental game-ending type mistake in overtime where he was trying to make another play, and we've seen it happen. It happens a lot with young quarterbacks trying to do too much, right? Can't do everything by yourself. We have a credence here where it's sort of like that. You guys don't you got to look for help when you need help. And here it goes. He tries to make a throw in overtime that, just wasn't the one. DJ Moore, I thought DJ Moore looked a little lazy on that too. DJ Moore,
was saying that.
You got to turn into a defensive back here. Like, it wasn't a great throw by any stretch, but you could tackle him if you need to. And that was it. And that was pretty much the beginning of the end, because after that, the Rams go back down the other end, and they wind up getting that walk-off win.
Yeah, you can't leave time on the clock for Matt Stafford.
Right. Harrison Mevis, all right? The story of Harrison Mevis. He's the guy who kicked the field goal. Mm-hmm. He got cut by the Jets earlier this year. The Jets didn't deem Harrison Mevis worthy, and here he is kicking his team to the NFC Championship game.
Man, talk about a turnaround. It's amazing, like, the journey that some of these guys go through.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're at the bottom of the league, and then now you're kicking to go one game away from the Super Bowl. Like, that's to fire you up right there. Even as a fan, like me watching the game, like this type of stuff is what makes people want to continue to watch the game.
Absolutely. So guys, we are all geared up for AFC and NFC Championship Sunday. We're down to the Final Four. And guys, just so you know, we will be streaming that game live from the boardroom. AFC Championship game, 3 o'clock on Sunday. So make sure you tune into this channel for that. All right, Malik, so we didn't just have championships in the NFL this week. We also had a national championship game in our backyard as the University of Miami squared off with Indiana, and Indiana claimed their first national championship. All right, so congratulations to Indiana and the Hoosiers and Curt Cignetti. And what it got us thinking of, because there was tons of star power on that field. I mean, if you watch that game, there was NFL players all over that field, right? So what I thought it would be cool to do is I wanted to do some NFL comps from the national title game. So I figured I'd pick 6 of the best players in that game, guys who are inevitably, provided nothing goes wrong, going to make it to the NFL, and just kind of talk about who we think they sort of remind us of, okay? So the first one on our list is edge rusher, defensive end from the U, who's suspected to be like a top 3 pick, Ruben Bain Jr., okay? So my comp for Ruben Bain Jr. is Dwight Freeney. Remember Dwight Freeney?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so Dwight Freeney is similar in size, great, and he's got a crazy ability to bend around the edge. And I thought Ruben Bain Jr. sort of does a lot of the same things. You could even see it in that picture right there. He's going to be a top 3 overall pick. My comp for Ruben Bain Jr. is Dwight Freeney. Who do you got?
I was thinking the same
thing.
Dwight Freeney,
yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, very explosive off the line. This guy's almost unblockable.
Yeah. I've seen some similarities too. Rob G, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I've seen some I've seen some people say Aaron Donald because of like his shape and his long arms and stuff like that. So, all right. So we agree on Dwight Freeney. What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So next, D'Angelo Pons, cornerback from Indiana. Who do you got?
He's a kind of small guy. I see him more as like a slot corner in the NFL.
That's a great call.
Nobody in the league comes to mind necessarily when I think of
if you have my guy style. Again, we're going to have to stop this segment. Go on.
But I can't think of a person in particular.
Okay, good. Oh, you don't have one for
I don't have one.
Okay, so I have Honey Badger. I thought of like an undersized All-American who's like similar in stature, and he plays like a real feisty, sneaky, physical type of game. And that's who I thought. I thought of Honey Badger because he's like more physical than you imagine, but he's like always around the ball. He's like brimming with confidence because if you watch D'Angelo Pons, He's 5'9", like 170, but he's out there barking like he's 6'5", 250.
Yeah.
He's out there talking the whole time, and I love that. So,
Can he play over top, though? I haven't seen much of his game, but is he able to play over top like Honey Badger can?
I don't know, man. It's a different world in the league. It's to be able to do that in the NFL is a different type of good. But he's doing it for the best team in one of the best teams in college football history. He's a 2-time first-team all-conference player, and now he's a first-team All-American. So we're going to see. Someone's going to give him a chance. Absolutely. I'm sure he gets drafted early. I think he'll test really well, which is going to be helpful for him. Okay, our next guy is starting quarterback for the U, Carson Beck. Who do you have as your comp for Carson Beck? And tell me why.
I had to do some research on this one. Someone was saying Carson Palmer.
Okay, tell me why.
For his comparisons. So Carson Beck he's bigger than I thought he was.
He is definitely.
I thought he was about 6'2", little slimmer guy. Mm-hmm. He's like 6'4", right. 220, almost 230. I've seen him make some good decisions, like that Ole Miss game, for him to make the decision to run it in when everybody's covered. I didn't see him try to force a pass in, but I still think he has a lot more room to grow. Like, I think he'd be probably drafted 4th or 5th round.
I think so.
But for him to be in college that long and not being able to read a cover two and see the corner singing back, maybe that you won't see much of a great comparison. I wouldn't compare him to one of the greats, but I see him. He could be a serviceable backup.
I was gonna say, you see him being like a career backup.
Yeah,
not bad. Man. There's we've heard that's a pretty good position to be in for about 6 or 8 years. Yeah, make some money, be the backup, jump in and play 1 or 2 games a year.
Yeah, to me, that's the best job in the world, to be the backup quarterback.
A lot of people feel like that. All right, so my comp is Eli Manning. Okay. And I have it Eli Manning, and I actually think we've seen this with quarterbacks a million times, man. I think he's going to go much higher than you think he's going to go. Not because I think he's going to come in and light the league up all the way, right away, but I think that there's going to be a run on quarterbacks. It is such a premier position that when you see the first 1, 2, or 3 of them go off early, teams start to panic. They're saying, I can't leave this draft without a top quarterback because I have no quarterback, right? So I think that position of all the positions, they tend to reach. So I think the same thing's going to happen here. And I actually think Carson Beck sneaks into the 2nd and maybe late 1st. I don't know. I think he could. He's been successful everywhere he's gone. He's played at some really high-level programs, and he's done a great job. I think he compares favorably in size with Eli Manning, very similar in size, right? Got a quick, accurate release, right? And he's looking to stay in that pocket always. And what I also see in him is I think he's the same as Eli in the sense that I don't expect him to come in and be ready-made right away. Same as you mentioned, right? Yeah. I think it's going to take a little while for him to kind of marinate, let him learn. Hopefully they don't play him right away, and we let him come in and play. So that's my comp is Eli Manning for Carson Beck. All right, next I have Mark Fletcher Jr., the running back for the U. Anything for Mark Fletcher Jr.?
I'll see like a Najee Harris. I saw Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry's a different beast.
Yeah, that's a good comp, man.
More of a Najee Harris. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He can bounce off some tackles. He's hard to get down, but he has enough speed to break away when he needs to.
Absolutely. That's a great call. See, and I have David Montgomery. I have the guy who's like the Thunder to Jahmyr Gibbs Lightning in Detroit, right? Both 230 pounds. They both have great balance through contact, the ability to break tackles, and they just churn them legs, and they have that ability to turn a 2-yard run into 4 anytime. So that's my comp for Mark Fletcher Jr. Next, we got 2 more to go. All right. This one's going to be a fun one because this guy is one of the most fun players in the country, and he came right out of high school down here, ready to do it, and one of the most fun players in the country. Talk to me about Malachi Toney's NFL comp.
Oh, they call him Baby Jesus.
Love it.
For me, I saw like a little bit of Debo, a little bit of Tavon Austin, a little bit of Percy Harvin.
That's like a creative player. That's awesome.
So like he's a guy, I think he can do it all, and he can line up anywhere in the field. He's great on special teams.
Great call.
And like he's a home run hitter too. You put the ball in his hands anywhere in the field, he's getting to the end zone.
There it is. All right, that's a great call. I love it. I have Santana Moss, another legend, another home run hitter who could score from any level. He's a phenomenal route runner, very precise on everything he does. And he's one of those guys you can get him a screen or a deep ball, and he can take it to the house anytime. So Malachi Toney and Santana Moss, that's my comp. And last but certainly not least, the Golden Goose, the number 1 prize in this upcoming draft, the one that I think everybody consensus now thinks is going to be the number 1. How about Fernando Mendoza, starting quarterback for Indiana, national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, and projected 1st overall pick in the draft? Malik, talk to me about the NFL comp for Fernando Mendoza.
I think he's more like, he's an athletic Jared Goff.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Okay.
like he's a Jared Goff, but he can go out and
Okay.
make plays if he needs to.
like
Jared
that.
Goff, he won't beat you with his feet or beat you with his legs, but Mendoza has made plays with his feet.
Did you see that
He'll
run
kill
this
you.
week?
Oh,
That
yeah,
run
I
this week was
put it in the
absurd.
slides.
Can we watch it again just because I want to watch it? Yeah, look at this guy. And he's a big body, too. Look at him. He goes for it. First contact is at about the 12. And he would not be denied, man. That guy's a winning spirit, and he was doing it. What a huge time to make that run, too, right? That's one of those plays that you see like those legendary college players. That's going to be on the highlight reel forever. You're going to see that associated with him for the rest of his time here, right? So my comp is Andrew Luck, all right? Because I think they're both thoroughbreds, man. Both 6'4.5", 240-pound guys. I think the intelligence and the pre-snap control, like you see Fernando Mendoza making changes up there. He's in there. He's locked in. He's moving things around pre-snap. He's reading the defense. He's talking to his teammates. That intelligence and that ability to sort of read things pre-snap puts his guys in a great position. And I think being able to control the offense like that is huge. I think he's got the same toughness as Andrew Luck, right? We saw him get lit up in this game.
Oh,
where
yeah, they
was
were taking
pouring.
shots.
They were taking late shots, everything. And you never once saw him lose that composure, which is what I want from my starting quarterback. And you heard them on the broadcast say, he even has a history of like feeding off of that. Like if you were watching the broadcast and you can hear the commentators, they were saying, teammates say that when he gets stuck like that, it like lights him up. It lights a fire in him. He loves it, and he tends to play better afterwards. I don't know if we have that clip or a picture of him where he was sort of in there with a bloody mouth and everything. But look, he stays in there. He'll lock in, stay in the pocket against the rush, which is a huge thing for an NFL quarterback. And last but not least, guys, he's got like that functional athleticism that I think Andrew Luck had, where the same thing. He's not going to be a burner on the gun. He's not overly fast or athletic, but in game, he's fast enough, elusive enough, and he's just a football player enough to make those plays when you need him. All right, so that's it. That's our Indiana NFL comps, guys. Thank you for that. Chime in, drop some in the chat. Let us know what you think about these guys who are in the game and how they're going to translate to the NFL. From there, guys, we're going to move to a big announcement today in the MLB. MLB named their 2026 Hall of Fame class today. All right, Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones, congratulations. You guys, and Jeff Kent are your newest Hall of Famers. Okay, and I want to talk about two things with this. And I don't know, me and you haven't talked baseball too much. What do you know? Throw me a little bit about your baseball background. Are you a Guardians, Indians guy?
Yeah, of course, all the way.
Of course you are.
But Carlos Beltran, like out of all these names, Carlos Beltran is the one I've heard the most consistently out of this class. Other than that, periodically I tune into playoffs, things like that. But
that's fair.
This may be something I need to tap back into.
You have to, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to pique your interest right now because, guys, Carlos Beltran is. Let's just set the stage for you. So Carlos Beltran is he's a switch hitter, one of the greatest switch hitters of all time. Right? He played for the Kansas City Royals and the Mets predominantly. That's where he played a little time with the Yankees, but he's into the Hall of Fame, guys. Now, Carlos Beltran, and this is the question. It's less about their careers, but I want to talk about sort of what goes into a Hall of Famer. And this is in every sport because I think the criteria from when I was a young kid and the criteria now have changed just an enormous amount. So first of all, let's talk, because we're talking baseball now. So obviously some of the greatest baseball players of all time are marred by cheating scandals and steroid scandals, just bad things that have forced some of the best players of all time to not be members of the Baseball Hall of Fame, okay? So I want to take it back to like 2019 when Beltran was implicated as the ringleader in the Houston Astros cheating scandal. So they won a World Series, all right? Not one single player was held accountable from this team, but they not one player missed one game, and they were proven to have been guilty in this, right? At first, it was a trash can banging, if you recall. And then there was even rumors that guys had buzzers on their body. And they all attributed it back to Carlos Beltran, who, when this came out, was just named the manager of the New York Mets. He was then fired before he had a chance to manage even one game with the Mets, okay? So my question for you is this. Right now, Barry Bonds, A-Rod, Roger Clemens, guys of that ilk, I mean, some of the greatest baseball players to ever play baseball are not in the Hall of Fame because they are deemed cheaters. And my question is, what cheating is okay? Is buzzers and banging trash cans and using the technology that they say we're not allowed to use, where you've been caught cheating, less of cheating than steroids was? Like, what do you think, Malik? Talk to me about this topic, because I'm seeing guys who are infinitely better players that are not being allowed in, that people I think believe would have been Hall of Famers irregardless. Like, I think Barry Bonds and A-Rod and Clemens, those guys are sailing into Cooperstown even without steroids. And everybody else was doing it, and the league was benefiting from it. But somehow they are still blacklisted, while lesser players who apparently cheated on a lower scale. I mean, isn't cheating?
Yeah, it is. So, like, if you are going to enable the cheating in this case and allow this guy to get in, you have to consider the other guys just off of that alone.
Right.
Like, that's enough right there. Because, like, now it makes – you're saying that this is okay to do.
Right.
So now every other form of cheating has to be okay to do.
Right. And in no sense or any semblance do I want to make it like I think steroids are okay. I do not condone steroids. We do not condone steroids. But I think one of them, wearing a buzzer on your body and getting buzzed on an off-speed pitch where you know a curveball is coming, or you're using technology in center field to tell me this is going to be a changeup, that is directly impacting. That eliminates an entire facet of baseball where you have to sit back and you have to decipher a pitch and you have to adjust and actually make contact, right? I think that is almost more damaging than a guy who, granted, if Barry Bonds hit a ball that would have gone 385, now it goes 405. He's still got to hit the ball. He's still got to put the work in. He's still got to make himself the greatest hand-to-ball hitter, we've ever seen. And that's not, it's directly impacting the game where balls that may land on a warning track are now going into the 6th row. But I almost deem buzzers and technology worse than cheating, especially in that sport, right? It's not like we're talking UFC or football where you can hurt somebody. But in baseball, it seems to me like it's like a lesser of two evils, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, like, he still has to make contact with the ball. There's still work that has to be done with you doing steroids. Like, I could do steroids right now. That doesn't mean I can go out there and hit 700 home runs.
Right.
But I'm sure if I have some mechanical system connected to me, I can predict the pitch and hit it a lot more, and my odds will go up.
Because I think a lot of people say the hardest thing in sport is hitting a baseball. And it's not a matter of like a fastball's coming. I'm going to tell you a fastball's coming. You hit it. The hard part is knowing that a guy throws a 102-mile-an-hour fastball, an 85-mile-an-hour changeup, and a 90-mile-an-hour curve. And you have to think about all three of these in your head, and in like a matter of a couple of hundredths of a second, decipher what's what and get bat to ball, which is infinitely harder. And it's made way easier by knowing this is coming right now, right? So I think that's my thoughts on it. Malik seems to echo that. So guys, let us know what you think about the MLB Hall of Fame and whether, all the steroid guys deserve to be in, or Carlos Beltran deserves to be in, or neither, or both. Guys, check in with us and let us know. Guys, that's going to do it for us today. All right? Little shorter show than... Oh, we want to do reactions? We have them. I didn't know we had them.
Clips for you.
Guys, I apologize. I jumped the gun.
It's all good.
Let's do it. Let's talk reactions. So we're going to go one more.
Segment for you right here.
Oh, I love the goalie fight. Is this the Panthers?
Yeah.
Is that Bobrovsky? Oh, let's go.
What happens where he has to skate across the ice?
Well, you've got to take up for your guys. It depends how grimy the other goalie is, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Did the other goalie do something to warrant Bobrovsky coming down the ice like this?
Are they like flipping each other off across the ice?
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. You can't look like that. You look like a punk if you don't come down then, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, you can't flip me off, man. Don't hit my guys and don't flip me off.
Yeah, I got a couple more for you, too.
All right, good. Good on Bobrovsky. Good on Bobrovsky for coming down. I never thought of him as like a tough guy, but good for him for standing up for himself and his guys.
Let's see what else we got. We got a couple.
All right, we got a couple. Little hockey appearance on here is rare. We don't have too many hockey appearances on here. Okay, we got a little soccer in the snow.
This is Canada, the cup final.
Kevin Dos Santos will put it in the box.
Jeez.
In swinger, Alpha, I believe.
What on earth?
Now Cloche.
I would have never imagined playing soccer in January.
Well, they don't really have an off season, I don't think. But holy cow! Like you realize that is crazy.
You can't see anything.
No, you can't. You got to change the color of the ball at least, right? But the ball doesn't roll or anything. You would think that they would take like a bulldozer to that thing like they do some of these football fans. Oh, they make the ball orange?
They make the ball orange. Yeah.
We're getting word from the back that they make the ball. Is that ball orange and I just don't even see it? Wow. Well, look at that. All right. Well, we got
that's
one
something
more.
I learned. All
right. Well, there we go. We got a couple more. Let's do it.
I ain't say I ran home. I said he can't run me over. Oh.
So this is two brothers playing football.
Is that little bro sticking the big bro? I love it. I love it. Oh, That's a good form tackle right there.
Yep.
How do you feel if you're big bro and little bro's taking you down?
Oh, man, my older brother's 7 years
That's what I'm
older
doing
than me.
right there. I say it. I'm hurdling that.
Yeah, I had an older brother. He's 7 years older than me. So, like, anytime we're playing sports, it was brutal.
And I always I think mom's doing a great job here. They're saying on the bottom she's instigating greatness.
Yeah.
But I love that. You always see that. I've trained athletes like that where there's like 2 or 3 brothers, and the second one's always better than the first because we made the mistakes and we learned what to do. And the third one's always better than all of them because he's got years in the system now. They know how to train right. They know how to recruit right. And he's got to been playing with toughened up by his brothers all those years. So shout out to mom for instigating greatness there. We love it. This is it. Here. Oh, boy. What do we got here? What's up with people with no pads just running into each other?
Yeah, that was a chick. She
who was it?
She laid the hammer on him.
Hold on. That was a chick who just squared him up and bodied him? Oh.
Form tackle right there.
Sir, you might as well just walk right into that water. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, see, I don't know how I would live with myself after that. There's no commentary or nothing on there, huh?
No, not on that one.
We got to zoom in closer on that one. Can we run that back one more time?
I got
Let me see this.
Let me see if I can full screen.
That is great. That is actually great form.
Yeah,
she did a great job, but my man here,
yeah,
I don't know how you show your face after that. His running form ain't really great either, right?
Boom.
You kind of knew that was going to get ugly quick. And is he out cold?
Nah, he's probably just
embarrassed.
Yeah,
I think so. I would be too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Malik, man, thank you so much for filling in. Danny, hopefully we did it justice for him today. Danny, we miss you. Looking forward to you getting back. We'll get back at business as usual next week, 5 o'clock. Are we doing Mondays next week? Do we know yet?
I'm not quite sure yet.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We may switch things over to Mondays or not. We might stay with our Wednesday spot, but we do know that we will be with you guys from the Boardroom Cigar Lounge, coolest cigar lounge in South Florida, at 3 o'clock on Sunday for the AFC Championship game. That's going to do it for us today. Malik is here. Thank you, Malik, for jumping in with us. I'm Chris Manno. Check me out on Minect at Chris Manno. Anything you got for us, Malik?
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. Interact with all the clips we got. We're always posting content for you guys. We love what you guys do. We appreciate all the interaction and everything. So follow us on Instagram, VT Sports Channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Once again, I got to emphasize that.
You heard him. Thank you guys so much for checking us out tonight. We'll talk to you soon.